In many parts of the state, the snow's been falling at a rate of 2 to 4 inches per hour for a while, and we expect that will continue for the next hour or two, and eventually will taper off. Light to moderate snow will continue to fall into the evening and ending in the east sometime around 11 p.m. And those high winds are expected to continue pretty much all night, which will have some impact on how fast people can get around to getting out into the bucket trucks to deal with some of the power outages. Some communities in the southeast could get as much as 30 inches of snow. Boston and other coastal communities could get about 2 feet. While the storm may be moving out tonight, that blowing snow and snow-packed roads will make travel extremely hazardous all night tonight. The heavy snowfall rates and the strong wind gusts are going to cause continued whiteout conditions and constantly changing topography in many places, and that will be the case pretty much throughout the evening and into the morning. MassDOT crews have been working to treat and clear roads and currently still have approximately 3,000 pieces of equipment out there. And crews have obviously been out all day, but the conditions are making it really difficult to keep the roads clear for any significant period of time. For the most part, people have done a great job of staying home and off the roads. Thank you very much to everybody who took that particular concern of ours seriously. It's made life dramatically easier for people who are out there removing snow, but it also means that a lot of folks weren't spending a tremendous amount of their day trying to help people who got stuck or lost or in some other terrible circumstance as well, and that's a big deal. We're going to continue to ask people to stay off the roads throughout tonight and into early morning tomorrow if they can. The snow obviously will end, but the cleanup is going to continue all night and into tomorrow morning as well. The tractor-trailer ban remains in effect until midnight tonight, and you really, if you can, you really shouldn't be traveling unless you absolutely need to tonight or tomorrow morning. Tomorrow around dawn, high winds and blowing snow will have dissipated, but the crews will obviously continue to be working at that point in time to deal with what's left of the snow on the roads. We expect it will take until at least mid-morning tomorrow for roads to be in a better condition. And I would also say just at this time, and we were all talking about this earlier, while we had serious whiteout conditions for most of the midday today, there still is pretty limited visibility out there, and we would encourage people for that reason and many others, again, to try and stay off the roads if you can through the evening. If you do have to go out, we would just ask you to be very careful, drive slow, and there are a lot of plows out there, a lot. I think in many respects, those folks will be out there all the way through the night and probably through much of the early morning as well. You need to give them a lot of room because they are moving very significant amounts of snow, and will continue to be doing that all the way through the evening and into tomorrow. When the snow stops falling, we'll still be dealing with the impact of the storm for a few days. As of about 4 o'clock today, there were about 1,000 customers that were without power across the Commonwealth. Most of those outages are where we expected they would be, which means southeastern Mass, Cape Cod, and the islands. And we've been talking directly to National Grid and Eversource regarding restoration efforts to resolve those outages as quickly as we can. However, when your forecast has peak wind gusts continuing throughout the evening, late into the night, it makes it harder for people to get out there and start doing that work. So it may be that a lot of the restoration timelines won't start until after the wind dies down, which could be tomorrow morning. Chances are most of the down lines will not be fixed until sometime tomorrow as well. And we ask people to be patient, and if you need to get to a warming shelter, they are there, they are available, and they will be open. Right now, there are very few people taking advantage of that, which is a good sign, but we expect that could change as we head into the evening. We've been in constant contact with our state agencies, and Lieutenant Governor and I and everybody up here has had lots of conversations with our colleagues in municipal government throughout the day and across the Commonwealth. The National Guard is still standing by and ready to assist the state police if they have issues with respect to rescues or other concerns like that. And local communities obviously will be available if they require their help as well. There are currently 12 teams positioned in the eastern part of the state to deal with that. Lieutenant Governor will talk more about some of the conversations we've had and the support we've been providing to local communities over the course of the day, and we'll continue to do into tonight and tomorrow. And the rest of the folks here will talk specifically about some of the work and the details associated with their agencies and organizations. It's been a very long storm. We're not quite out of the woods on it yet, but we did have a couple of days to prepare for it, and it pretty much behaved the way everybody thought it would. And I think that's made a big difference with respect to the fact that most of the prep everybody did was consistent with the storm as it actually was forecast and played out. We think the snow will end sometime around 11, but tomorrow will continue to be a very long day in terms of cleanup, and in some cases that cleanup will probably take into Monday. Please be careful if you're shoveling snow and take breaks if you need to. And if you can, check in with your neighbors, particularly those who might be in need. That would be terrific. And if you're able to help dig out those hydrants and sidewalks, that's very important for folks in your community, and especially for your public safety folks. And if you do have a heater or a generator, we've said this before, follow the directions and be very careful.